There are a lot of spaces in our lives that we can transform into mindful moments. Today, we'll be making tea, and I'll show you how I do the most with loose leaf tea, an orb, and a bottle. Let's get into it. Chrysanthemum is a lucid realm of actualization, all about getting what you need out of life by making space for mindful moments and more. I love starting my day off on a mindful note by meditating. I use the Headspace app, but there are other cost-effective options for those of you looking to save money, like the Calm app and Insight Timer, both of which I've used. Now, on to the tea. Hemp kettle teas are my absolute favorite because they contain organic herbs, teas, and spices, all blended with hemp seed. I also make a huge effort to support local small businesses, especially amazing women-owned businesses like this one. Selection is the first step to my steeping ritual. I'm reminded of the decisions I will have to make throughout the day and the clarity of mind they will require. I apply potential states of mind to my tea selection. I first gauge my mood. Could I use energy? Relaxation? Could I use spice? Fortunately, I have an option for whatever I'm feeling, and I remind myself that I have options in life. Today, I'm between Lady Grey's Bouquet and Goji Berry Rose. I am a big fan of floral and spiced hemp kettle teas. I think I'll go with this one because I could use some sweetness and I could use some rosiness. I set this intention for the day as I move on to the next step, my water preparation. Before I made tea with mindfulness and science, I made tea in a quick and thoughtless way. I'd overheat the water to a boil, I'd toss in a store-bought bag, and I'd squeeze whatever honey I had around, often too much of it. This tea would a lot of the times taste too sweet or too bitter, extremely watery or oversteeped. I never measured out time or temperature, I just got a quick fix and I kept it moving. Now, I use an electric kettle with a temperature option. Because we are brewing white tea today, I set the temperature to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. I like to think my mindfulness practice has spilled into other areas of my life, such as habit cultivation, planning, eating, and tea brewing. I get great joy from being so particular in doing the most. I think the tea reflects this tremendously. Using loose leaf tea is also better for the environment because oftentimes it uses less packaging and yields less waste. Next, I select my honey to add to my hot water. Let's see, I'm leaning towards something lighter that will match the floral notes of our tea. I'm going to go with orange blossom honey for this sweet, floral pairing. I always add honey to the water first and then steep the loose leaf tea in this solution. You can substitute honey out for rock sugar. It works just as well and has a heavier, more intense sweetness. On to my favorite part, the magic. I'm going to add a few scoops of our tea to our tea orb and stir around the spell with a chopstick. Just watch that spin. It's wild to just watch this tea blossom, grow and dance right before your eyes. I love being able to see my tea steep. This experience is worlds away from how I used to make my tea and is actually more of a passion than a chore. This tea steeps for 4 minutes, so I give it time, stirring incrementally, and then I push the release switch and watch the tea pour into the glass server. This is also equally satisfying. The final step to preparation is to pour the tea from this server into the bottle. Next, I like to get outside or in a cozy spot where I can just chill, sip, and enjoy. I am grateful to spend time with nature, the same earth that has provided me with the tea that I drink. I take this time as an opportunity to reflect on this and how I can make more mindful moments throughout the day to squeeze the little amazing experiences out of life where they may be hiding. Thanks for steeping with me today. Please don't forget to compost your tea when you finish it. You can also refrigerate it for a re-steep or a facial mask. I'm providing links to my Tea Orb below, as well as a thoughtful tea drinking meditation from Super Soul Sunday. It's got Oprah. I love it. See you soon. I appreciate you so much, and happy brewing.